Welcome to your deep dive. Today, we're exploring this piece called Under Pressure. It's by Balazs Vendler. It really resonated with me. I think it'll hit home for you too, especially if you're an entrepreneur over 40 and feeling all those pressures, of modern life. And the question we're diving into is this: are we sacrificing what really matters for the sake of these quick wins?
This is a theme that it runs so deep, right? You get caught up in that pressure cooker mentality. It's easy to, especially when you're building something new, something from scratch.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting? Vendler starts the article with this story. He's at a Zepter presentation
Hmm.
back in the 90s, and he wins a pressure cooker.
Oh, wow.
And they're selling it. They're like, you can make pork knuckle stew. That's a dish that takes hours to simmer traditionally in 30 minutes.
Wow, a fraction of the time.
Yeah. But then he contrasts it with his mom's recipe. Hers takes hours, slow cooking, filling the house with these amazing smells. And it makes you think, would you sacrifice that experience, that depth of flavor, just for speed?
That's the big question, isn't it? We get so fixated on speed, efficiency. Are we losing sight of the things that really nourish us? Not just in cooking, but in life, too.
And he connects it so well. Like the pressures entrepreneurs face, it's like we're all in this pressure cooker,
Mm.
striving, right,
Mm.
for those faster results, bigger numbers, constant growth. But then at what cost?
Mm.
Are we sacrificing our well-being, relationships, those moments of joy, connection, all to get there faster?
It's like trading depth for efficiency, and it's fascinating, right? Vendler brings up this idea of additives. Think about it. When you cook quickly, you might add flavor enhancers or those things to change the texture. You're trying to compensate for what's lost,
Right, yeah.
but it's never quite the
It's
same.
such a brilliant analogy, isn't it? And he keeps going with it. He says we use additives in life too,
Yeah.
to compensate for the lost quality, the lost connection. We work longer hours, endlessly scrolling on social media, or we neglect our health. Are those things truly fulfilling us, or just these temporary fixes?
They're band-aids.
Right.
It brings up a big question, especially if you're always pushing yourself. What are your additives? What are you using to fill that void, that sense of something missing when you're living in the fast lane?
Oh, man. That's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle, feeling like you have to be on all the time,
Uh-huh.
but then you miss out on those quiet moments, genuine connections, the things that really make life rich, meaningful.
Absolutely. And this is particularly relevant for entrepreneurs, right, who are often driven by that pressure to succeed, to build something amazing. But it's easy to forget the why. You lose sight of the why behind the what. Those original goals, aspirations, the things that set us on this path in the first place.
He really hits a nerve when he talks about the lost connection. From living that pressure cooker lifestyle, less time with loved ones, less time enjoying simple things, less time connecting with yourself. It's like we're trading depth and meaning for speed and efficiency,
Hmm.
and we end up feeling empty.
We've almost tricked ourselves, like busy equals productive, right?
Yeah.
And speed equals success. But what if it's the opposite? Like what if slowing down, giving ourselves space to breathe, reflect, connect, what if that actually unlocks something deeper fulfillment, personally and
Yeah,
professional?
it's interesting because Vendler doesn't offer these like quick fixes. There's no magic formula for escaping the pressure cooker, but he does suggest something, a shift in mindset, like consciously choosing to embrace a slower, more mindful way, even if it feels counterintuitive now in our fast world.
Right, and that's what's so interesting because he isn't saying to drop everything, go live off the grid. It's more like, how do you find that sweet spot, that balance between achieving your goals but also nurturing your well-being? It's
Yeah.
asking yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice for speed, for efficiency? And maybe even more importantly, what am I not willing to sacrifice?
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially, those over 40, they grapple with that.
Hmm.
We've poured so much of ourselves into building our businesses, chasing the dream. It's hard to step back, reassess. But I think that's what Vendler is urging us to do. Reconnect with those original goals, the things that really matter, and see, is the path we're on still aligned?
Exactly. It's remembering why we started. What were we hoping to achieve? What kind of life did we envision? Are we moving towards that, or did we get caught up, like in the pressure cooker, lost sight of the destination?
Oh, it's so easy to fall into that trap, especially in the entrepreneurial world. There's this constant pressure, grow, scale, be the next big thing.
Yeah.
But Vendler reminds us, true success, it's not just about those external achievements. It's also inner peace, feeling fulfilled, aligned with your values.
Almost like we've internalized the pressure cooker, expecting ourselves to operate at that same temperature, constantly churning out results. But like a stew cooked too quickly, we can end up feeling bland, unfulfilled, disconnected from what matters. So true. And then we try to compensate with those additives, right? The long hours, the striving, needing validation. But those are just temporary fixes. They don't address the root cause. What we need is a shift in our approach, a willingness to slow down, savor the process, reconnect with what nourishes us, personally and professionally.
I like how Wendler puts it. It's choosing to simmer, not boil. It's about finding a pace that lets us thrive, create something meaningful, sustainable, without sacrificing our well-being.
That makes you wonder, right? Like, what could we achieve if we weren't so focused on that pressure cooker? What if we, I don't know, slowed down, savored the journey, really connected with the work and the people around us?
What if slowing down is like the key to unlocking our potential? Creating something extraordinary, something with depth, meaning, something that resonates.
It's powerful. We're conditioned to think faster is always better. But what if it's not? What if taking our time, being intentional, mindful, what if we achieve more that way? Not just quantity, but quality, impact. Imagine that. Success measured by not just speed, efficiency, but the joy in the process, connections made, the impact we have. That's a shift I think a lot of entrepreneurs could use, especially those of us, who've been at it a while.
So is it time? Time to release some steam in your own life. What can you cook up without that pressure? What would it look like to embrace, a slow cooking approach in your business, your life?
Something to think about. What if instead of striding constantly, we just were,
Totally.
found joy in the everyday, connected with people, created something that nourishes us?
What if by slowing down, we create space for something magical? That's something to aspire to.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. What does slow cooking look like for you? What are you doing to release pressure? Create a path that's, sustainable, fulfilling. Share your insights. We're always learning from our listeners.
Until next time, keep diving deep. And remember, sometimes the most delicious things, they're worth savoring slowly.